Alright, welcome back to another League Race assignment with DNS round 2 in Silverstone this time. Yeah, it's going to be another flipping race at Silverstone where it's a rain affected race. There you go. This is honestly four in a row now. At this stage, it is 4 in a row. You got last year's DNS race, full wet for the whole thing. TMC ended up being a wet race as well, partway in. Just had the TMC race in the wet at Silverstone again, and now here we are again, the rain affected session. So I was actually very glad of this, but it did end up presenting a very interesting opportunity that no one else really seemed to think of apart from one other person. So this track Silverstone, it has one tyre that the rest of the tracks do not, and that is the hards, the blue striped hard tyre. This lap is just a formality, it's just to get a feel for the setup, that's all, and I'll come back in. So this track has got the hard tyres, the only track on the calendar to have the hard tyres. Now these hard tyres are good, they go basically almost full race distance. So with that in mind, and with in mind how long a pit stop takes around Silverstone, it's in your best interest to try and hang it out until the rain comes. So Ice did not set a qualifying lap here intentionally. Matt is 10th on hard. That was also an eye on the strategy. Everyone else inside the top 10 went for the softs. So the idea here is to go long. You see the rain's like, okay, I was thinking like, oh, maybe I should have gone mediums, but I didn't choose the soft. I had the mediums, I didn't have the hards for qualifying. But thankfully with the rain there, it's like, okay, we can do this, the hard. So I changed the setup slightly, accustomed a little bit to the wet, a bit less so than I did in TMC in Hungary. Here we go then, 5 red lights, starting from 14th, a lot of work to do. Away we go, good start. Swanee with a little bit of wheel spin and just kind of take us so tentatively through turn 1, because any wing damage in this opening stint and this strategy is done. That's what this is. So I have to be careful there. I think there was a little desync or lonely boy, and then Dark Ball came quickly on my right hand side as well. Just being super careful. Going through the field is risky, but the risk versus the reward here today was much greater than the risk. So we're in last, but again, this is all part of it. This first stint means nothing in many ways. It's literally staying out here for as long as he can until the rain comes, and that's it. Anything I can do in between is cool, but that's all this stint is. And Matt is the same way with his tyres in 10th. So we're going to try and go through the field here. Dan Morris just in front of me here on mediums. So happy to tuck in here for now. I don't want to lose too much time, because obviously obviously Matt's doing the same strategy as me. I don't want to lose too much time to him. Scuba, I know, was very quick as well on the softs as well, and even though he has to make a pit stop, he's that much quicker that you could easily make up a good chunk of that time. So a little bit of interesting racing going on here in front. Going to dip into the slipstream. I have to back out of it. I saw that going 3 wide, and I'm just like, no, get me out of there. I was thinking of going up the inside of Swanee there, but I ended up opting against it, just because it was too dangerous. And heading down then towards Club and Vale. Swanee's going to have a bit of a moment here coming out of it, and I have to get right off the throttle onto the brakes of what hit into the back of him. So that was good reactions there. That would have been very, very costly, and he pulls over and lets me by. So thank you, Swanee, for that. And we can continue on with the race. We've lost a little bit of time in all that, but well, what can you do really? I've got a full front wing, and that's the most important thing here to begin this stint. So for the stint itself, I did a really good job warming up the tyres in the formation lap, and I went with 410 wings in the end. I think I did go with 410 wings. Lonely Boy, I'm going to get a good run here. This is lap 2, and he's going to pull over, and I think let me go, so didn't have to do that on softs, but hey, thank you. But once these hards felt good, they did feel good. Maybe 4 wing was too much to run, but I didn't want to take the risk, because look, I was thinking like, okay, you're going to be on these tyres for a long time, so you may as well feel good with them. So could I have got away with 310? Probably, but well, I put the rear wing up to 10 because I wanted a bit more rear stability when the wet came. So accident there between Dan and Mercandies. VSC is deployed, so Um, yeah, interesting part of the race here. I was like, oh no, please, because you see up on the map there, Scuba is past, he's onto the hangar straight, and like he's close to the pit lane. He's like, oh please don't bail these guys out. These guys in the softs out with a free pit stop under VSC. So that's what I was afraid of. I did lose a good bit of time, I think, in this VSC near the end. I should have been gunning it now, whereas I've been a bit too tentative on the throttle. VSC ends just as they're into the pits, but Scuba gets a bit of time in there, but Sway and Joe, I believe, are going to come in next as well, and they're going to go on to... Well, Scuba went on mediums, which is the sensible thing to do. Sway and Joe went on softs. The rain was forecast to come in about 10 to 15 minutes. So anyways, if we go through there, going to pop up into P5 there now with that stop. So the rain was forecast to come about 10-15 minutes. I was getting 15, they were getting 10, so they took the risk on softs. Risky one in the end. Lap 9, a couple of other people pit as Ushin into the pits. I believe there's a Ferrari in the pit. I think that's Steve as well. So the sun has disappeared a little bit, but still quite still blue skies and such. So rain's not coming anytime soon. But I wasn't worried because I knew that these hards were good until the end, no matter what, basically. And I just had to pitch the lap before if I had to. So just feeling good, continuing to get with it. I'm a little bit further behind Matt than I'd like to be, but look, this is a pad track. A couple of factors as we move into second here. A couple of factors. It's a pad track for a start. Favours the pad. It always has, always will, more than likely. Matt's just much quicker than me around this track as well. And he went with I think it was 3.7, 1.7 or 3.7 on the wings. I went with 4.10. So with this track being kind of a power circuit in a sense, you're spending a lot of time on the throttle. That kind of does help a bit. Lap 15, then Scuba obviously got a good head start on this pit stop under the VSC. He's right behind me on mediums. He's also much quicker than me, and on pad. So there he goes. You can see he's clouded over a lot now. Lap 16. So. There you go, he gets away. So I'm thinking at this stage, I'm basically set for third place. That's where I'm at the moment. I think I did get a penalty this race as well. I did get a penalty this race. I extended Abbey once. The one I'm most annoyed about is Luffield. I ran wide at Luffield and I got a warning for it. So anyways, lap 16, then same lap, a few corners later. The rain does now arrive. There it is. So it was due to get heavy as well. We were due to get heavy rain, so you see lap 18, like only a few laps later, track has significantly gotten worse, and we're 4 seconds slower through 2 sectors. So even though the DRS has not been disabled, we could tell by feel and how much time you're losing on track that, okay, this is the time then to pit, as well as kind of, okay, it was basically 1 or so seconds last lap, the difference between fastest lap and that last lap in the wet conditions. Now it's nearly 4, so nearly 5 through 2 sectors. So it's gotten almost 4 seconds slower in 1 lap. So you kind of know, by that, okay, it's time to pit. If you're unsure, you can wait till the DRS is disabled. But looking at the times and the such, you get a feel for it. And even if I was at the front, like obviously like Scuba and Matt pitted in the front, but honestly I could have come to this conclusion even if I was on my own and I had no one to react to. So. Just by feel of the car, the track, and by how much time you're losing through each sector, because intermediate's about when you get to 7 or 8 seconds, that's pretty much when you're pretty much set. And with how heavy the rain was coming, DRS is disabled. So you just have to use your judgment for it and just kind of play it by ear, and just when it feels right, you'll know when you know. Basically, there's no point taking a gamble. So. Basically in P3 now, about 6 seconds behind Scuba, a long way ahead behind Matt, and a good bit ahead of Darkbolt there in 4th. So I'm in no man's land, but this is what it was all about. This is what it was all about, making sure I didn't have to make an unnecessary stop, start on the hards, go long, wait till the rain comes, and there you go. That was the race. That was lap 26. Gap did come down a bit to Scuba. He was running 8 ballast in the wet, so I did gear somewhat towards the wet conditions. Well, that's also, I think, what kind of maybe I lost a bit of time to Matt as well, as much as I did, because I did gear toward the wet a bit. So, for example, I ran 7 ballast this race instead of 8, which I would have had I had it not been wet. So a few things like that kind of played in as well, but they're just quicker than me at the end of the day. They're just much quicker, so that's reflective in where they are on the track, despite Scuba making a stop and Matt obviously a lot further up the road than me without making a second stop. So there you go, round in Luffield one more time. Again, it's risky. Myself and Matt, this was risky to come through the field like that. It's risky to start on the harder tyres. It's risky to come through the field like that. It's so easy to pick up damage. It's so easy for something to go wrong like that. But it didn't. We worked it out, and we ultimately reaped the benefits of our rewards. Dartbolt played it well as well. Well, he did pit very early on mediums, to be fair, so his pace has helped him more so than strategy. But I knew the reason why I went with the hards to begin with as he disconnects. I knew it was possible with the hards. Any other track, it might be a stretch, but with the hards here, it's possible. And obviously with the pit lane being as long as it was, there's a lot to be gained. So happy days. I wasn't sure where I was going to finish this one. I could have easily ended up finishing 6th. Happy to finish 3rd. So good strategy call, good result, and a very happy P3 indeed. So there you go. Excuse me. There you go. Then P3. Happy days indeed. And yeah, not much else to say. Strategy is look. It's a great case for a strategy over pace. Even though I did lose out to the two quicker people, I do think had I gone with a dry set, if I'd gone with softs, who knows where I could have finished now. I think I could have easily been behind Sway when all was said and done if I had gone for a regular strategy, and by extension Darkbolt as well. So and probably Dan Morris as well if he hadn't retired from the race. So it just kind of goes like that. You just have to kind of make a call on it and just go with what you're feeling. I don't like going from the back. I don't like going through the field like that. But in this case, I thought it was the best course of action. There you go, P3 in the end. So happy days. Next up then, that's it for round number 2 then, DNS. I believe Brazil is next. I want to say Brazil is next. So if it isn't, my bad. But if not, until next time then. Good result then. Strategy played out key P14 to P3. Not too bad at all. Until next time.
Who's tougher, the constructors?
Oh, it has to be Swear.
No, it's Williams.